Today we are going to learn about animal adaptations. Okay, you are going to understand what animal adaptations are. And I'm going to explain why animal adaptations are important. Okay, so before we start, let us define adaptation. Okay, what is adaptation? Let us read together. Okay, an adaptation is an inherited characteristic or traits that helps an organism to survive in an environment. When you say inherited, it means like the characteristic can be passed from parents to offspring. Okay, and that is adaptation means also characteristic. Okay, what animal can you see on the screen? All right, this is a frog. Okay, a frog has adaptation that help them not be seen by predator. Okay, it can blend its color to surrounding, and that is an adaptation of this frog. So we will learn about that in this video. Okay, so animals have to adapt to the physical factors of an environment in order to survive. Okay, so physical factors of an environment, these are all. Number one, physical factors of environment, amount of water. Number two, amount of light. Number three, temperature. And number four, air. Okay, so animals have adaptation so that they can adapt to these physical factors in their environment. We can separate adaptation into two categories. All right, number one is physical adaptation and number two is behavioral adaptation. All right, so this is, which one is animal here? Okay, left or right? That is in your left. That is stick insect. Okay, this is physical adaptation. This physical adaptation are body structures that allow an animal to find and consume food, defend itself, and to reproduce its species. Okay, these physical features help the animal to obtain also the food, keep safe, build homes, and withstand weather, and attract mates to reproduce. All right, those are physical features, and also we can call it physical adaptation. Okay, so physical adaptations are body structures. Some example of physical adaptation in animals are camouflage, mimicry, chemical defenses, and we have body coverings and parts. Okay, we call that physical adaptations. These are the body structures in animals. We can also say physical features of animals. Okay, so example, this is chameleon. Chameleon can blend its color to match its surrounding. We call it camouflage. Camouflage, okay, their body can blend its color in their surrounding. This is an example of physical adaptation. Okay, that is camouflage. Camouflage is a color or shape in an animal's body covering that helps it blend into its surrounding. Okay, so as you see, that is the adaptation of chameleon. Okay, next we have grasshopper. And grasshopper camouflages by blending its color with the surrounding. It's also blending the color with the surrounding, and that is camouflage. Why they blend the color? So that they can protect themselves from predators. Okay, they can hide from predators so they can survive. This one is another type of camouflage, but this one is blending the body shape, not the color, but the body shape into the surrounding. So it camouflages its shape with the surrounding. So two types of camouflage. Okay, blend the color and blend the body shape into the surrounding. So in stick insects, it blends the body shape. The chameleon and grasshopper blend the color into the surrounding. That is camouflage. Okay, this is stick insect. Okay, as you see here, that stick insect, it blend its body shape to its surroundings. So it's look like stick. Stick insects blend into their surrounding to fool predators. Okay, that is their adaptation. Okay, this is Arctic hare. All right, Arctic hare can change into brown fur and white fur. In summer, the Arctic hare has brown fur to help it camouflage with the surrounding, because in summer, as we see, there are dried leaves and dried branches of trees. So they change their fur into brown. Okay, so enable it to camouflage with its surrounding. And during winter, its fur change into white. Okay, it molts. Molts means change, and grows a coat of white fur to camouflage in snow in winter. Okay, so that is the adaptation or characteristic of Arctic hare, so that they can survive and they can escape from predators. They can hide and can run away from predators. All right, another example of adaptation is mimicry. Mimicry means harmless animals look like harmful. Okay, an adaptation in which an otherwise harmless animal looks like a harmful animal in order to protect itself. So like for example, this is viceroy. Viceroy is not poisonous. And then mimicry and become look like mimicry to look like the monarch butterfly, because monarch butterfly is poisonous. So when viceroy look like poisonous, the predator won't eat them. So that is physical adaptation of viceroy butterfly. Okay, so the chemical defense is also physical adaptation. Like snake or cobra has venom. Venom is deadly. Okay, they spit the venom so that they can protect themselves from enemies or from danger. All right, and also the octopus, they have ink. They release their ink so that they can escape from predator. And skunk, they have sprays so that they can protect themselves from predators also. Okay, so about the body coverings and parts of the body, like what are the parts of animals' body? They have claws, beaks, feet, armor plates, skulls, teeth, and different parts. There are physical adaptations of animals. Okay, like for example, the elephants have trunk, and that trunk is a part of physical adaptation that helps it to clean itself, eat, drink, and to pick things up. Without the trunk, okay, this elephant will have difficulty to survive. So this is very useful for them so that they can survive. Those body parts of different animals are very important for them so that they can survive in their environment. This is MUDSKIPPER. Okay, why MUDSKIPPER can stay on land, but this is a fish? Because they have gill chamber. This gill chamber store water for breathing. Okay, that is adaptation of MUDSKIPPER. Gill chamber is the space where they store water when the MUDSKIPPER is on the land. It breathes using water in the gill chambers. Okay, that is adaptation of this MUDSKIPPER. Also the crab. They have gill chamber to store water for breathing. All right. And some animals like turtle and snails, they have shells or hard shells on their body to protect. Okay. The hard shell is used for protections. And when they feel danger, they hide inside their shells. When threatened means they feel danger. What they do, they hide their bodies inside their shells, okay, for protection. Okay, and fish can swim in the water very fast. Why? Okay, that is their adaptation. That is their characteristic. They have this streamlined body shape. This helps the fish to swim faster in water. It helps in increasing speed and ease of movement of fish in water. Make them move so fast because of this streamlined shape on their body. Okay, this is armadillo. Armadillo have armor on their body. This armor is for defending themselves, for protection also. Okay, so as you see here, this is armadillo, and they can roll itself into a hard armored ball to defend itself against predator. Okay, so when they feel also danger, they roll itself inside, okay, like a hard armored ball so that predator won't eat them. That is physical adaptation. They have hard shells, they have hard armored in their body. Okay, next. All right, and also the body parts of birds. Okay, this is physical adaptation of birds. The type of bird foot. Okay, so if the bird foot is like this, they have 4 toes. This is used for climbing, like woodpecker birds. They climb on trees. Okay, their feet help the birds to dig into the wood, and they have sharp nails for digging. And also this kind of bird foot, the webbed feet, help the birds like the duck for swimming. Okay, the duck have this kind of foot. It helps them to swim in the water more efficiently. And this type of bird foot, okay, this is used for running, 3 toes. Okay, like for example, emus can run so fast. They have 3 toes, okay, that face forward. That is used for running. And this type of toes, okay, for perching. This is very useful for perching on the tree branches. Okay, like they wrap their toes around the branches to help them balance. That is the type of toes of this bird. Like this toes is for grasping. And most birds that have this type of foot are predatory birds like hawks, eagles, okay, for grabbing their prey. And also, this bird foot with the short toes at the back is for scratching. Like for example, chickens, they scratch the dirt to find insects or to find their food, all right, for digging into the ground. This type of adaptation in birds help them to obtain their food to survive, okay? This is their characteristic for them to survive. All right, okay, let's go to behavioral adaptations. These are animals' actions. Okay, so we can divide behavioral adaptations into two groups. Okay, the first group is instinctive, and the second group is learned behavioral adaptation. Instinctive, it means these behaviors happen naturally and don't have to be learned. Okay, when the animal is bored, those characteristics are already, they have it already. Okay, I will give you example only of instinctive behaviors that happen naturally and don't need to be learned by animals. Number one, finding shelter. It's natural behavioral adaptations. Okay, next method of gathering and storing food. Next is defending oneself. Next is raising young, hibernating, migrating, and mating dance. Okay, these behavioral adaptations are instinctive or happen naturally. Okay, this is hibernation. Hibernation, it means the process. This is the process where animals sleep for a long period of time. This happens usually during winter. Okay, they eat a lot of food and store fats so that they can survive. Okay, they use that energy to survive during winter. Okay, that is behavioral adaptation. They sleep for a long period of time. Okay. Okay, next we have animal migration. Okay, this is also behavioral adaptation that helps animals survive. So animals move to another place when seasons change. So group of animals move. If they feel that they cannot survive in their habitat, they move to another place and then wait until the season come back to normal again, and then they will go back to their previous habitat so that they can survive. Okay, next is mating dance and mating calls for reproduction. Okay, so in reproduction, mating calls and mating dance are used by animals to attract mates so that they won't become extinct. They won't become endangered. All right, so they can reproduce more. That is behavioral adaptation of animals. Okay, and some animals form groups to avoid getting eaten by predators, to defend themselves from predators. Okay, so this is an example of mind map. Okay, mind mapping of adaptation. So example, adaptation. Why is adaptation very important for animals? Okay, it is important because adaptation of animal is needed for obtaining food, for escaping from predators. Okay, and it is needed also to reproduce or for reproduction. For example, in obtaining food, what do animals have? Or what adaptations do animals have to survive? Okay, they are using speed to catch prey. That is their behavioral adaptation to obtain food. And about structural, the parts of the body that they use to obtain food, they have sharp teeth and claws to get or catch their prey. Okay, these are the characteristics of animals. About escaping from predators, the behavioral, what animals do to survive, what are their characteristics. They hide from predators. And structurals, okay, they have patterns or colors in their body to hide. They can camouflage, that is structural adaptation. Okay, about behavioral adaptation, they hide from predators. Okay, that is for escaping from predators. Animals, what they do, they have mating, they do mating calls and mating dance. They perform mating calls and mating dance so that they can reproduce. They can attract mates for reproduction. And structural adaptation, they have colorful feathers, all right, for the birds so that they can attract the mates for reproduction. All right, this is about the adaptation. Okay, this is coping with physical factors. What are the physical factors of environment? Temperature, light, water. So behavioral adaptation of animals, they hide in the shade when the temperature is too high. They have thick fur to adapt to low temperature. So this is the mind map about adaptation. Too easy to remember. Okay. So let's review. Give me some examples of physical adaptation in animals. Can you remember? Can you still remember the physical adaptation in animals? What are those? So we have number 1, body parts. Number 2, camouflage. Number 3, mimicry. And number 4, chemical defense. Okay, these are physical adaptation in animals. All right, so about behavioral adaptation in animals, we have 7. So these are instinctive. Okay. Number 1, hibernating. It's about sleeping for a long period of time. Migrating is like animals move to another place because of seasonal change. Number 3, mating dance for reproduction. And number 4, we have mating calls also for reproduction and storing food. We have finding shelter and defending oneself. Okay, so these are all behavioral adaptation in animals. Okay, activity time. So your homework, you have to use your writing notebook. Okay, do this chart in your notebook. This is example. So you are going to copy the chart in your notebook and then search for some animals. I'm giving you example here, polar bear. Give me one adaptation. Example, polar bear has thick fur. Why polar bear has thick fur? What is that for? How is the thick fur helps the polar bear to survive? So explain here. Keeps polar bear warm in cold weather. Okay, that is example how to answer this homework. All right, next activity you do in A4 paper. Choose an animal and then draw and color it on an A4 paper. Then label its physical adaptation and write how this adaptation helps the animal. Example like this. Okay. You can do this in A4 paper and then write your name plus a number and then polar bear adaptation example and then label the parts that help the animal to survive. Muscle hump, over shoulders, or catching large prey like this, okay? And example, okay, how is the polar bear cope with low temperature? Why they can survive in the snow during winter? Okay, because they have small ears. This helps to reduce heat loss. And they have thick fur. Why? Because it traps the air between the fur to reduce heat loss. Because this is good heat insulator. And then they have short tail. Why? Explain. Because it helps also to reduce heat loss. Okay? And then they have thick layer of fat in this area of their body. We call it blubber under the skin because this is also good heat insulator. So it's just like this. You're going to label its adaptation, explain how are those adaptations help the animals to survive. Okay, another example, the camel in desert. Okay, so camel has thick eyelashes. Okay, can keep sand out. So still the nostril can close and open to keep out the sand. Okay, it has large feet for walking on soft sand, and then soft pad for sitting and hump for storing fat here and also water. Okay, so these are the example of your work, how to do it. Alright, so class is over. I hope that you learned something today. Thank you for watching and listening.